His name is Gojira. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to what I guess you can consider to be season 2 of March of the Monsters. So, a little bit of background. Back when we were the C Files podcast, myself and Carter started a review series called the C Files March of the Monsters, which was a big, little review series that was building up for the release of Godzilla versus Kong. And it's interesting because history is now repeating itself because now this is a watch-along series where we're building up to Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire, coming later this month. I'm very excited for this. And what's even better is that we have two very special guests that were never part of the original series, but here we are. First and foremost, I'm Special Agent Spooky Clutter.
I'm Special Agent Carter Sauce.
I'm Special Agent Daner Bobaner.
And tonight we are joined by an amazing man, a fantastic friend of the channel, J-Man from Backtrack Cinema. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm excited to watch this again. Obviously, if you guys have been following me on my channel, we've already reviewed King Kong and the original Godzilla. And just a little disclaimer where Caleb and I will likely do the rest of them live just because of time. And because they take a lot. The longer you talk, the longer you got to edit. So, we're probably going to go live. It will always be before the watch along on Thursdays. So, me and Caleb will sort of schedule it next week of what we're doing. So, but yeah, they'll be live on my channel every week for the rest of March.
Hell yeah!
So it's a very exciting collab. It's been a while since we did a collab. Last time we did a collaboration was with Good Real Hunting on the Hollow Scream review series. But now we're getting into a franchise that I am much more familiar with. This is a Godzilla is a franchise that I have been watching since I can remember. I remember being obsessed with going to Toys R Us to find all the Godzilla toys that Bandai had been releasing. Funny enough, I actually have a good handful of Godzilla toys that I had from all the way back in 2005. So this is something that I'm very passionate about. I love Godzilla. This character has seen so many different incarnations. It's a very versatile character. Godzilla is something that can be molded to many different character archetypes or genres in regards to the films. If you're a fan of, sort of horror to a certain extent, disaster movies, Godzilla's got you. You like tropical islands and sort of mystery, Godzilla's got you. You like some weird psychedelic dream sequences with weird fish people, Godzilla's got you.
That's
like
Daner's movie. That sounds like Daner's movie.
Yeah.
you like action spectacles with kung fu and aliens, Godzilla's got you. There's a lot to this franchise. It caters to many different tastes. But as a sort of paying tribute to Godzilla X Kong coming out and also being heavily invested in this franchise, I thought that for March of the Monsters this time we'll do watch-alongs. And it's extra special because Danner here hasn't seen many Godzilla films at all. I mean, you can tell them for yourself.
Yeah. I'm almost embarrassed to admit it, but actually I should be. My introduction was the fucking 98 film. The Roland Emmerich movie was my introduction to Godzilla, but I was 5, okay?
Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah, that piece of shit. Which we've done a watch along for that one already, though, haven't we?
Yes,
on the dumpster.
We sure did. But that being said, it did get a pseudo sequel, if you will, which I am rewatching, which is the animated series, which is considerably better than the movie because, well, this guy could say it. It's doing a lot more justice to the franchise than that movie did.
Yes.
I mean, fucking Donkey Kong does more justice to Godzilla. And here's why. It just occurred to me just a minute ago. In Donkey Kong 64, you got the DK Island, or Skull Island, if you want to call it that. I mean, it kind of looks like it to some extent with the big face and everything. But then you got King K. Rool's fucking moving island ship that shoots a fucking laser out of its chest to blow it up. If you get a game over, they don't show it because suspense, ha ha ha. But he is a reptile. He is reptilian, and he is a monkey. You and both made in Japan, so I mean, maybe they weren't trying to be as overt in the references, but they were thinking it because that's just testament to the fucking cultural impact that Godzilla has had on media.
Oh yeah, I mean its outreach goes beyond Japan. It's come to the Americas, and I mean you have quite a few movies that have referenced Godzilla, including the '98 film, but that's more paying homage to Jurassic Park if you think about it.
Yeah. A scene from fucking Awesome Powers 3, which perfectly sums up the '98 movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unfortunately, before Caleb and I recorded our reviews, that was the only one I ever watched too, Daner, that I can remember. I watched a Godzilla ripoff in the '60s called Gorgo. Right, so that's what I had at my house. So, but my uncle was a huge King Kong Godzilla fan. I'm a Kong guy. I'm more of a Kong person. And this original movie didn't change that. But who knows? Who knows? Well, after I watch a few of them, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I think as a character, I'm always going to be a Kong guy. But I thoroughly enjoyed this, so I think Daner's in for a real treat.
Yeah. The thing about this movie is that it was made, for one thing, it was made by people who experienced the horrors of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings. On top of that, you had an incident that took place after the war, where America was testing out their nuclear weapons, and a Japanese vessel called the Lucky Dragon was hit, or it was caught in the blast, and the people on the boat had suffered horribly. And it essentially sparked this sort of protest. And keep in mind that this was at a time when Japan was under the thumb of America. It was America occupied Japan. So censorship of certain subjects was very prevalent. So they decided to make a movie that was a monster film, a disaster film that also had the message of anti-nuclear weapons. And it was fantastic. It was very, you might think that Godzilla, based on future films, was just the cheap, cheesy monster films with bad dubbing, but all the people that have said that, they never watch the original. I remember as a kid how many people made fun of me because I liked Godzilla. And most of the time it was because they were watching the dubs of the cheesier movies. They never went to the source. And I'm glad that we can come to it now. And it's beautiful because Godzilla Minus One is sort of reminding people, hey, this was a franchise that started out as a disaster film. This film, not going into any spoilers, but it is dreary. It is depressing. It is sad. And there's an ominous atmosphere to it that many people that made fun of me for watching Godzilla because of all the cheesy crap, they would be shutting up real quick when they sat down and watched this movie. So I'm very excited to get into this movie. I'm very excited to get into this series. It's been a long time coming. Before we do, I do want to address the chat because Peter Anthony is here. He says,
Hey, Peter.
loving this intro.
Hey, what's up, man?
I wanted to have something real nice as far as an intro, to kind of mix things up a bit.
Yeah.
Godzilla Minus One.
Fuck yeah.
Godzilla versus Destroya. Oh, yeah. Godzilla versus Destroya. That's a good one.
But
we'll probably watch it.
Okay. Before we dive in, one thing I do want to see. So this whole Godzilla versus King Kong, Freddy versus Jason type thing. One thing I really, really want to see come to life is this: Godzilla versus the Power Rangers. When When I heard that they actually made this, I thought it was a troll thing, but it's actually real. It was made by Hasbro and Boom Comics or Boom Studios, the same company that made Power Rangers Shattered Grid. And there's actually, I think there's like a part 2 of this. So in case you want to pick this up, pick it up at your Barnes and Noble or Amazon or whatever bookstore or comic shop. Something Danner could be interested in.
Possibly, yeah.
Yep. I mean, can you imagine the Dragon Zord fighting Godzilla, or should I say, spoiler alert, King Ghidorah?
I've seen it happen.
You can pretty much say that because the Dragon Zord is clearly you could call it an homage, if you will, to Mechagodzilla. So, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, let us go ahead and dive in. So, for those that are following along, we're not starting at the 00s mark. We're starting roughly around when the Toho logo pops up. So we'll go ahead.
Yeah, because it's all over the place, depending on which one you're watching.
Right. And just to be clear, we are watching the 1954 version, the original Japanese classic. We are not watching the 1956 re-edit with Raymond Burr. It's an entertaining movie. With that said, when you watch the original and then you watch that one, you realize how much they gutted from it. Like it baffles me how much they cut in that 56 re-edit. It's bizarre. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So I'll do the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Right. Oh, by the way, what do you? Did you think about did you mention the poster? Yeah.
It's prevalent in the background.
Yes, it is the poster of the original 54 film.
I love the roar at the beginning of this.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love that sound.
Takio.
Those booming sounds you're hearing, that's supposed to be Godzilla's footsteps, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't read it. It's all in Japanese. At the rate I'm going, I'll probably learn Japanese before I finish this fucking game.
Good music, too.
Watanabe.
Oh, yeah.
The original Godzilla theme.
It was still a treat hearing that. And
oh, yeah.
It's not a spoiler if they... Talking about the music is not a spoiler. It was a treat when they used that in -1. And speaking of music, I like that you used the music from the series at the end there. That was pretty cool.
So they did use the music. It's not just because I watched the trailer for the movie, and I wasn't sure if they just used the music for the trailer.
No. So they used the Godzilla theme in -1. It's their own version of it. It's not ripped straight from this movie. With that said, the soundtrack for -1 is beautiful. Like, just listen to the soundtrack. It's awesome. It's great. I love it. It's great.
I wish I had a chance to see that one in black and white, though.
It's a treat. It's a real treat.
Oh, speaking of movie theaters, the Cineplex here is not playing Madam Web this weekend.
Good.
It's already been reduced to playing at the smaller theater for cheaper.
Good.
But then again, isn't there something big coming out this weekend? I mean, I know Doom 2 is already out. What?
Kung Fu Panda 4.
If you call that big.
Okay.
Oh, pay no attention to the background. It's just a projected screen.
Harder.
It's better than CGI or obvious green screens that you still see in movies with bigger budgets nowadays. You know I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kung Fu Panda 4. Yeah. That is big.
Yeah. So, if you recall what I said earlier about the Lucky Dragon, they pretty much open up with that. About getting hit by something. You can already guess what it is, but
A boulder? A giant monkey?
Close.
You know, and I also love the practical usage of models.
Well, Carter, they couldn't really use much else, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but kudos to them and fireworks.
That was groundbreaking at the time, though. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't. It's like when we talked about King Kong. Stop motion was like first. It was in its
Infancy.
first infancy, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, there weren't many films. One film that I can recall was The Lost World. That old dinosaur film. They used a lot of stop motion in that.
Nani?
You know, regardless of what resources they had at the time, they've always been a few decades ahead of us.
Yeah.
And they still are. They can fix giant ass potholes in like a couple hours.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Here, it's like they take their time. They're so slow.
I want to go to Tokyo. Like you ask me right now, like if I could travel anywhere outside of North America, where would I go? Tokyo.
Yeah.
Tokyo Ichiban.
That or London.
I had
Fuck
someone.
London.
I released a short of Temple of Doom, where Indiana Jones is on the bridge and he speaks to Short Round in his language. You know, where he says, "Wrap your foot around the." He goes, "Well, I forget what he exactly says." So someone in my comments said, "I love this movie so much. When we were younger, that's how I'd talk to my brother in code. I'd go, Chow Shi, Josh."
Short round. Chao Chi. Latsu Satsa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, something really cool. So, in Japan at McDonald's, they're literally promoting Godzilla X Kong. Like they have their burgers wrapped in Godzilla X Kong like wrapping, and they also have
Wow.
little toys. They also have little toys with the meals. I'm thinking to myself, where the hell is America for all this?
The only thing
Well,
close to
we've
that is
gone
we got the
backwards.
fucking McDonald's.
Well, other than martial arts cinema, this would be their bread. This would be their bread and butter. This would be their what they're known for in cinema.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that? Would I be wrong about that?
I don't think so.
The only other thing I would say is that anime is very big.
Yeah.
Like that would be the biggest thing that's sort of.
Oh yeah, my freaking son, he watches Naruto, whatever the fuck his name is, and he watches all this anime. Dad, come watch this, and I'm like, he's speaking in Japanese and all this shit.
Don't worry, when you
That's
get into
dedication.
Godzilla, you'll get plenty immersed in the language.
Ningo
I mean,
model.
granted, we might be seeing the more English dubbed versions. The funny thing is, though, is that a later sequel that sort of reboots the entire franchise in 1984, they released two versions of that particular Godzilla film too, and they tie it in with the 56 version of Godzilla.
Oh,
and they
God.
actually bring back Raymond Burr to reprise his character. It's like, man. I mean, really, I would love to see like an edit where they would incorporate Raymond Burr's scenes, but without gutting the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be kind of jarring, but at least you keep the main vision intact without gutting so much of the narrative. You know,
It feels like you're watching a documentary on the Japanese film.
right?
That's the problem, though. It doesn't really feel like a movie.
Yeah,
It feels like it's just a documentary. very very brooding. This felt the beginning of all
Yeah.
this.
100%.
Odo Island.
I'll say this: in Godzilla -1, they name dropped this island, Odo Island. So they reuse certain parts of the original story in -1, but -1 is a complete reboot. So it's not like a sequel to any Godzilla film that's been made,
Yeah.
which is good because to get people into this franchise, I think they needed to start fresh. At the same time, keeping the spirit of the original series in mind. You know, don't do like the '98 film that completely just gutted the meaning of the character. And I'm not even talking about just the design. I'm talking about as we're watching this movie, you're going to understand why they made this film and the message that they were trying to, you know, put out there. And you compare that to '98 film, and then you hear what Roland Emmerich said about the original films. And it's like, my God, dude, you have no respect for the franchise. What a
Yeah.
disgrace! Like it's just ridiculous.
Now go hang out with Zack Snyder, why don't you?
Oh God.
Are you ready for that 6-hour cut of Rebel Moon?
Yeah, right. Like I gave two shits about that.
Could have been good, but from what I heard, the entire movie was just like a 2-hour trailer for the sequel.
So basically the final act of Batman v Superman stretched out longer.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Can I go off topic just for a second?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
For Daner, I just did a Nightmare on Elm Street watch party, and something I never really caught on to, probably because I'm stupid, but someone in my chat said it. I said, you know, the ending of this movie doesn't really make a lot of sense though, where she turns her back on Freddy. So Daner, is it do you believe that at some point Nancy never woke up, like the whole movie is a dream?
It's possible, but she does confirm in Dream Warriors that her mother and friends were killed by Freddy. So, but then again, did she wake up from that dream eventually and find them dead?
That's what I'm saying. I think the whole movie's ambiguous,
but
in that sense.
I mean, that's sort of a good thing, but you know, the execution of that ending was it was off.
No, that's what my point is. I think at some point Nancy fell asleep, and when she woke, she wasn't really. The whole thing was she's still dreaming, because the thing that's confusing is that Freddy, she defeats Freddy, but then he comes back right at the end for that jump scare kind of ending, which
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense. But in Dream Warriors, it's a much more cohesive story, I would say.
Yeah.
As far as like the rules are like, okay, these are the rules. Except for they went to his world that defeat him, right? Like,
Yeah.
instead of bringing him out. Anyways, that's just, I wondered what you thought. That's all.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. And yeah, Dream Warriors is still my personal favorite of that franchise. Even if the first one is technically the scarier movie. But then again, part 2 disregard the rules horribly.
But he's fucking scary in part 2, man.
I mean, I like part 2, but the whole pool party thing, it's just like, you're trying something different way too early in a franchise here.
This is great. Look at the storm and everything, how they created this with
Mhm.
atmosphere.
Feels very legit.
Because that's a film technique they probably still use. You know,
Mhm.
having
Yeah.
shit fall down, shaking the set around or whatever they're using here.
Yeah, put the actors in some legit danger to get some genuine emotion.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you really got to put your actors through the ringer. I'm sorry. I mean, some people say, "Oh, but filmmaking's hard. You can't put them down too hard." Well, maybe that's how you get the best product or the best results, if you will, because even with this whole idea that has been sort of circulating around, like how we should be nicer when it comes to discussing films and like be less harsh in film criticism. Like, I do not endorse that idea one fucking bit because, yes, people do work hard to make films, but film is art. But like Cody Leach said, at the
Oh
end of the
yeah,
day, it's a
he was right.
consumer product.
He's right.
Mm-hmm.
He's right. Now, I'm a lot nicer than most people,
Mm-hmm.
but if there's something like my Predators review, I like it, but there's fucking problems with it.
Yeah.
I was
Mhm.
saying like I said this is am I the only one who thinks this way, kind of thing. But there's some movies I just enjoyed so much I can't really think of too much. But that's just me being honest though. Like maybe other people have
That's true.
problems with, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
even First Blood, I never gave it a perfect because there are some points in it where it's like, no, Rambo wouldn't say that. That's too funny.
You mean like
You know,
when he was with the soldier Robert A?
yes. Unfortunately, that's what kept the movie from being perfect for me. But it still is a perfect movie as far as I'm concerned. It's just all I'm saying is that as a I don't care if you're a critic, you're a reviewer. Um, hey, I'm positive. I like positive reviews myself, but if I see something glaring at me, I have to address it.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a discourse that's been happening over the past decade that people look at individuals who criticize movies and say, "Oh, you're just a hater." Like they throw blanket terms without any real substance behind it, not realizing that, calling someone a hater, like if we're talking about individuals who critique installments in a classic franchise like Star Wars, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and people get labeled as racist or sexist or a hater and say, oh, you just don't like it because of this, uh, or you're not understanding the message, and they say, oh, you should be more positive. Why are you bashing something that you should be loving? It's like, I'm allowed to critique something I love,
It's called freedom of
especially,
expression.
yeah, especially when the later installments in some of these franchises are completely missing the mark of those original films, to the point where Mhm. to the point where the very narrative that they're putting in these new films contradicts the old, like introducing shit like healing, for example. You introduce
Ugh.
force healing in Rise of Skywalker, and then you ask yourself, my God in heaven, why didn't we see this ability before?
But who needs it now? People can get stabbed by lightsabers and it's just a minor inconvenience.
Yeah. That's just like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just
Hey, and you know
done.
what?
Why have stakes anymore?
Healthy disagreements are good too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you guys were just talking about Zack Snyder. I'm personally a big fan of Zack Snyder. I like his stuff.
Well, don't get me wrong. I
Right?
like Man of Steel. I
Mm-hmm.
like the first 300. I even like
Yes.
parts of Batman v Superman.
Mm-hmm.
With that
Yeah.
said,
Watchmen?
yeah, Watchmen too. With that said, things like Rebel Moon or
Well, I only saw the first 30 minutes. I haven't gone back to it. Well, maybe that's proof of the pudding right there.
This is,
yeah,
but what I was saying about Zack Snyder is just because, like, I saw something earlier. This was actually today where he said, like, Batman just can't flourish if he doesn't kill or something like that. It's like, dude, Batman's not the Punisher, okay?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You could say he's like the Punisher minus all the killing. If you
Yeah.
want to,
Hey, you know what? Even as much as I like, I do like Batman versus Super, the extended cut anyway. I think that's the
Yeah.
preferred version.
Yeah.
There's even, I think, Buddy's completely miscast with Lex Luthor. I didn't like the way they handled.
Well, no
Think-
kidding. I
Yeah.
think we can all agree. That's
Yeah.
unanimous. Nobody likes Little Junior there.
Yeah, Smallville's actually really good. The way they handled all their characters in that.
Fuck yeah.
I love Smallville.
That's something I haven't watched just yet.
Fuck, me and
Mm.
Caleb disagree all the time, but we do it with an educated. We go. Well, this is why I don't like it. This is why I like it. You know what I mean? We just bounce off each other.
Mhm.
That's how you
Well,
do it healthy. But these
Right.
people, some people on the internet, there are the people who just want to hate things. They're doing it to get views.
Oh yeah.
Caleb's not like that.
No.
He doesn't do things just to hate on things, just to, I'm going to put this video just because I think it's going to
Shit,
explode
man.
my channel.
If I wanted to do that,
If you wanted to do that, you'd have a lot of things you could talk about, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it's
But
easy.
I mean-
I don't want to create a channel that's dedicated just to shit talking. I like having a
Yeah.
mix of things
Yeah.
because ultimately the things that I shit talk are from things I used to love, things that were ruined. And so I say, you know what? Okay, I like She-Hulk in the comics. Then they came out with a TV series, and I fucking hated it.
You know
It was
what?
a shit show, and all I had to do was watch
You,
one episode.
You probably got me on recording somewhere saying, well, I haven't seen Dial of Destiny yet, so I want to give it a fair shot. I was wrong, okay? Caleb was right. It was not a good movie.
Damn right. It was
I
shit.
wouldn't know.
Huh?
I still haven't seen it, and I don't want to.
So
But even though I did like things about it, there was a lot of things that just I didn't like about it.
So you finally were able to watch it, huh?
I reviewed it actually.
Eh.
Oh my God, I missed it.
Well, because I did three new movies and one thing.
Oh.
In a nutshell, I wanted my Back to the Future ending, where I didn't care if she knocked him out, but I thought when he was coming back, he was gonna have his son back. He was like she was gonna change his past,
Mhm.
like as a gift. That would have earned her character more. Then I would have been like, okay, she learned her lesson, but that character was so disrespectful to Indiana Jones. Sorry, Dana. That's all I'm gonna say.
Don't worry,
I got the picture. I mean, I don't care if you spoil anything because, again, I have no desire to see it because just from the trailers alone and just the mere idea that you're just taking Harrison Ford out of basically wanting to just be done with it all and just come on, we need to milk the cow for all it's worth, and let's just cater to the modern sensibility that the white male is stale or something like that. And
That
now we
kinda
gotta.
rhymes, actually.
No, I heard something about that on Nerdrotic's latest video today, something like that,
Yeah.
and just have him be ridiculed by a very condescending woman because it's always all about
Oh,
promoting
there he
the
is.
one-dimensional strong female characters. Holy shit! Yep, I had to speed up my point there. Holy shit! So that's actually a pretty frightening visual.
Yeah, well, yeah. Think about where you're in 1954. That's what you got to think about.
See, that's the thing. King Kong isn't scary. I don't think he was ever meant to be scary. Like maybe intimidating. It's just with Godzilla, your introduction right there. That his eyes look like they're completely like white, no pupils. At least from that angle. That's freaking terrible. Because here's the thing. So they're going to go into it later on in the movie. But Godzilla's like around 165 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the 56 re-edit, they say he's over 400 feet tall. Now there's a problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
King Kong's only 60 feet.
Here's the problem. When we get later in the movie, when Godzilla's actually in Japan, some of the buildings aren't 400 feet tall, and he's only just a little bit taller than them. It's yeah, the 56.
I like his footprints.
But you know what? Getting back to the point about legacy characters being disrespected, This
Mhm.
is something that I actually got into in my in the first two parts of my, well, more so the second part of my Dark Fate critique. I could not handle how the character of Grace kept on belittling Sarah. Like when in my rewatches, almost every interaction they have, Grace is disrespecting Sarah Connor, and I'm like, I wanted to get up and just slap her. Just shut up. Do you know who you're talking to?
Well, and that's where I think the movies Creed, well, Creed 1 and 2 anyway, they really get it right because Stallone or Rocky was never disrespected.
That's true.
He's actually a very big, but Stallone would never allow that. He said, if I'm going to do this, that you got to get stuff right. And I like, that's what it seems like whenever, or when he brings John Rambo back, he never disrespected the character. He did it really well.
Mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm.
Well, and to go, but all these other movies don't seem to do that. Now I think because Stallone was directing it and writing it with John Rambo, I think he has a little bit more. He knows the character, right? It's not his character, but he knows the character. Whereas I think Harrison Ford was just, yeah, I'll do one last one, but I don't know how much he put his 2 cents in. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is with these characters, I mean, even if you want to see him go on one last final adventure, do you really want to see him like being dragged into it where, they're just sad old men past their prime? Because we don't want to see our heroes grow old to where they're just basically waiting to die.
Yeah.
We don't want to see that.
Well,
Let them ride off
I'll
into the
rephrase
sunset.
that. I don't want to see Indiana Jones like that.
No,
No.
Rocky, it worked. With Rocky Balboa, it worked because that was the
admittedly,
narrative
yes.
of the story, right? But Indiana Jones, Luke Skywalker, we don't want to see that. That's not what we want to see. You know what I mean?
For all the faults, and there are many that Crystal Skull had, at the very least, you can say that even though they incorporated that the jabs of, oh, what are you 80? At least what we see of Indy, he's active. He's
Yeah.
fucking active. You can't look. You haven't seen Dial of Destiny, Danner, and you know what? If you keep making that fucking face, we're gonna have to watch it because you can see how
You're
bad
the
things
one
get.
that forgot about it.
I didn't forget about it. I was respecting your
Hey,
My idea
very
that we should just end with them riding off into the sunset. We didn't have to come back to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because I really don't want to watch that movie.
I was trying to
excuse me.
respect you, sir.
Hey, sorry for interrupting, but
do we need to watch Dial of Destiny? Is
no,
that do we
No.
need to skip Crystal Skull just to get to Dial of Destiny? Just to
Don't you
show
dare.
you
No.
how bad it is?
No,
Because I feel like that's what we have to do.
No. Just no.
don't do
What's
it, man.
up, Carter?
Well, I don't look at it as unwatchable, but I mean,
I
I have no desire to really return to it anytime soon. But
Okay. Hey, just so we're clear, what's a timestamp? Because unfortunately, HBO Max is being stupid, so I have to go to a different source. What's a timestamp?
being stupid. Well, I'll tell you where I'm at. I'm at like
27?
27. Yeah, 27. 38.
27:38. Okay.
Yeah.
this is where the movie's getting really layered because they're having arguments about should we let people know about Godzilla or try to keep this under wraps so we don't cause a wide panic. It's I know
Oh,
Roland
sorta like the mayor
Emmerich
from
did a
Jaws.
horrible yeah, I know he did a horrible job of Godzilla, but it's kind of like those disaster movies that he does.
Yeah.
There's
Well, that's all he does.
yeah, I know. That's what I mean. You think he could have you think he could have took the material and did something good with this? Because essentially it's a disaster movie. Like
It is.
Yeah.
But they but he was shit talking these films, and it irritated me to no end.
I bet.
Well, setting it in New York. That's all he really seemed to care about. And of course, it's raining in every fucking scene.
Hey, you think
But
it wasn't in Seattle?
But what really drove me nuts in that movie in particular is like when you're getting like all that dialogue from Broderick there, where he says, "An island, water on all sides." Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious. That's what an island is. But second of all, this is a place where he can easily hide. New York. That's a good place for a giant fucking lizard to hide.
I mean, granted, he's not 400 feet tall or close to it. He's like,
But still, it's New York.
Have any of you seen One Crazy Summer
mm-mm.
from the 80s?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, isn't it the
Pale,
one
you're gonna-
where? Oh, isn't it the one where they had there was like a race or something, and then they put an asshole's Ferrari in a boat. Like, what did they got in
Yes.
that thing? My
Yeah.
car. I recognize that
Yeah,
movie.
so it's John Cusack, Demi Moore.
Mhm.
It's a summer movie from the 80s, comedy summer. But the guy who's in Police Academy who talks funny, Bob Goldthwait or something like that, or so he puts on a Godzilla suit in this, and he can't get the mask off. He can't get the top off, so he's running around like Godzilla. And this big business owner, the bad guy of the film, has his whole new city laid out. This is where we're going to put everything. So someone throws a cigar in his mouth in the bushes, so he can't get it out. So he stomps all over the buildings and everything, like in Godzilla. It's pretty funny though. I think you'd like it.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of summer movie, I'm going to show you something. It's not Godzilla related at all, but you said summer movie, and well, I just wanted to show this off because you may or may not have heard about this movie, but we did a watch along for it here on the dumpster. It's Hard Ticket to Hawaii. This
I've
movie,
never heard of it.
this movie is insane. It is insane. It is cheesy as hell, but it is so good. It's one
like
of those
something-
so bad it's good movies. It was
It's
so good. I enjoyed it so much. I got it on Blu-ray just so I could have my own copy, courtesy of Danner. Thank you very much.
So basically,
You're
what
welcome.
it's basically like a cheesy, crappy movie that they play late, not that they play late on HBO or something.
Let me put it to you this way: it's like Baywatch, but if it was rated R.
Oh hell yeah! Sign me up.
Extremely
R-rated
rated R.
Baywatch, action, and a lot of bad puppetry.
Don't even get me started on that movie's dialogue.
One
Do I need to say the line?
one
Nap,
man's
nap, 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 nap,
Don't
nap,
say
nap,
it.
starter.
Don't- you
even
don't say it.
try.
Let Caleb say it.
Oh, you let me know if you want me to say it right now.
Only if you really want to.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know what they say. One man's dream is another man's lunch.
Yeah. During a fucking sex scene.
like what? Are you telling your girlfriend that the girl you just smashed telling her to go make you a sandwich?
I don't think that's what it was intended, but
Eat.
okay, all right. Okay, shh. This is important. Hold on.
I could tell. That boat looks important.
Oh yeah, that's a good scene.
Lesbians.
Hmm?
But there were two women dancing together, so
Yeah,
I'm assuming they're...
The black and white really helps this scene.
Yeah.
Really. Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
I like that. His tail splashes in the.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, the previous scenes, like a few scenes ago, where you saw like the boats were throwing depth charges and stuff, it looked like old World War II footage, from the Japanese side, when they, what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Japanese Belloc
He's got the suit.
and the
Mhm.
hat.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mr. Miyagi's island got fucking smoked back in
Oh,
Godzilla.
Actually, because he's from Osaka, right? I believe.
Okinawa?
Oh,
Okinawa.
Okinawa. Sorry.
Wherever that would be.
Fuck, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if Godzilla ever, if there was ever any scenes in Okinawa in later films. I don't recall. I mean, they were in a lot of different cities in Japan. Kawasaki, Okinawa.
Newspapers, huh? They'll just print anything now these days.
If you're lucky. Everything's digital.
Yeah, that was a James Bond reference. I forgot which one it was. GoldenEye? No.
Hey, Dan, what's going on, buddy? You filthy son of a bitch.
What's going on? Hey, you you gorgeous SOBs want to throw love and support. Y'all kind of busy at work. Throw a like to guys during and after the show. I appreciate it, Dan. Hope you're doing
Thanks.
well.
hell yeah.
March of the
Oh, yeah.
Monsters finally got this stuff started. Good to see him, man. Hope work's going okay for you. Someday we gotta get you on the channel too, man. We gotta find something. Gotta do some investigating.
We already got something lined up for him.
I
Right.
got
The
I
list's
haven't told
closed.
Dan yet. I haven't told Dan yet, but I got an idea for a live show for him. To bring him on my show. But my workload is so high right now that I'm just doing one thing at a time.
Yeah, you got a busy couple months ahead of you. We got the rest of March.
Yeah, I think May I'm gonna be taking some time off because
Yeah, April.
March and April's fucking insane
Yeah,
right now.
I'm excited for that. I actually started binging through the Planet of the Apes films a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, like some of the classic, because I've only seen the first one.
Oh, dude,
At the
you know
point.
I was the same back in the summer. I never watched anything after that except for the new ones, obviously.
Yeah,
And I was pleasantly surprised. They're not. It's not great cinema or nothing, but it's like how good these aren't bad. Like they're not that bad.
yeah. I
So
mean the second one, it got kind of weird with the
that's
telepathic
bad. That
human.
one actually, but
Yeah. I mean, I was enjoying it regardless. I mean, it was pretty wacky, but
I think Conquest. I think Conquest is even better than the original. I love Conquest.
Yeah.
But just remember how low it could go if it's directed by Tim Burton.
Yes, Daner, that movie is a piece of fucking shit. Oh my!
A remake of the original, but with Helena Bonham Carter as an ape. I don't think I needed that.
It's just a boring movie. There's nothing
Yeah.
really creative or interesting about it. Good villain though.
The only thing
Yeah.
for me that worked in that movie was the makeup effects.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
well,
pretty good, all
Rick
things
Baker, right?
considered. Yeah.
There he is. Serizawa.
He looks cool. I like
Hello
his character.
there. Calder Prime. How you doing, man? You're kidding. Wait, when did he die? Holy fuck.
Like just recently?
Wait. Who's that?
He's the
Creator
creator
of
of Dragon Ball.
Oh,
my God.
oh.
Fuck.
Oh shit.
That fucking blows. Damn.
Damn. You know what I need? I need pen, paper, a plate, and a canister of salt.
So it just happened recently? Like, I guess the past 24, 48 hours? That fucking sucks.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. Because I want to write a celebrity's name, put it in the center of a plate, and put a circle of salt around it so Death can't get it.
Well, welcome to the channel, by the way. I don't think you stopped by in previous live streams, so welcome.
Good to meet you.
Addy.
How you doing?
Yes, there was a message a few minutes ago. That blows.
Fuck.
Because they're coming out with another Dragon Ball series
Yeah.
here pretty soon.
And my brother-in-law loves Dragon Ball.
See, the thing is, I grew up with a lot of Japanese culture in my youth, like not just Godzilla, but anime. So it's there's a lot.
I think I'm just in the older generation. Anime does nothing fucking for me. My son loves it, but
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend a couple different anime, like Dragon Ball be one. I mean, it takes a very particular set of patience and taste because one of the things with anime is they love to draw things out.
yeah.
Not
Like
to mention
they
it's
like to draw.
dominating.
Hmm?
Sorry, not to mention they're dominating the entertainment industry compared to
Yeah.
our comics.
Yeah,
That's pretty true actually. But just what you were saying about the whole generational thing, Jay, man, you're not completely alone. I mean, I'm not the biggest anime fan myself. For me, it's just something I felt like I outgrew because for me, it was just kids stuff. That's not
Well,
that's not to say it's bad or nothing. It's not like
Well, let me put it to you this way: depending on which anime you watch, it's not kid stuff. It's rough.
I get that now. I'm just saying like
I
some
don't
of
know
it
if you
was.
guys have been following my 31 movies that made me on my shorts.
Yeah, I've
Mm.
been following. Yeah,
I've released one called The Secret of Nim.
The Secret of
Don Bluth.
yo,
Don
I
Bluth.
love that movie, man.
Yeah, so
Dude,
that's my
alright.
favorite cartoon of all time. But
Mm.
this is kind of interesting. I thought Caleb would be interested on. So in 1982, Don Bluth worked for Disney at the
Mhm.
time. He was an animator for Disney. He didn't like the way things were going with that company. Kind of odd and he left. He says, "No, we can create way better, mature stories. It doesn't have to be this Robin Hood shit and all this kind of stuff." I'm just using that example. It's probably
Right.
I liked that movie actually when I was a kid.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
so he made The Secret of Nim. That was him saying "fuck you." He left Disney, created The Secret of Nim. Likely did the animation for it and had a whole team and everything. And it's a very mature, dark fantasy, weird. It's a strange movie and it has some dark imagery in it that it would be a good one for your show, Caleb. I think.
Yeah.
Back when, yeah, it's not Disney though because he left Disney. It's
Right.
So
I
he's
don't
like,
know
"Fuck
who.
you" to Disney. Like, I'm doing all. I think he did like it
And
was originally for Fox.
yeah,
Okay.
in that movie inspired other. This is important. Caleb's
Yeah.
right. The
Hey, hey,
oxygen
fish.
killer. Now we're gonna get some theater of the mind because we don't see nothing.
hmm But anyway, I did watch Secret of Them though, and I am a fan of Don Bluth's work, even though there are some that are questionable.
Mm.
Yeah.
But Disney then copied that style of you got like the Beauty and the Beast and the Little Mermaid and all this shit after. But that's a pivotal movie I think in that I think was successful,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to be remembered as much in the
Mhm.
Yeah.
long term game. It seems like.
Yeah. The only thing people remembered are about. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to shut the fuck up. I'm not going to walk into that landmine.
So all I'll say, Danner, is just remember that scene and remember Dr. Sarazawa because he's going to become important later.
All right.
Maybe maybe that'll be something. in- I may think about putting that on the projector.
That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one.
Yep. Yep. And maybe if I'm lucky, maybe you would like to come on for it.
I'd come on for that.
Bitchin'.
Definitely. It's my favorite cartoon of all time. And
Fuck yeah.
Zack Snyder, I really love Legend of the Guardians. I think that's one of his best movies actually.
Gahool.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Wait,
Fuck.
Zack Snyder directed that?
Yep.
I did not know that. Shit.
He died at 68. That is
Fuck. Man. Um. Oh, but anyway, how you said that anime was childish. What's funny? That when I was a kid, I was raised on Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. What else? There was
See, to me,
One
that
Piece,
was
One
anime.
Piece, that One Piece, and there was another weird show,
One Piece.
Hamtaro. Yeah,
Oh god, my
Oh,
kids love
yeah.
Pokemon. My son
All
goes,
right.
"I have enough money to go buy Pokemon cards."
All right, here
Yeah.
we go. This is where things get crazy.
Yes.
They were just going to have a nice, peaceful dinner or tea party.
Or Saki Party.
So what I really like is how they've kept Godzilla in the dark mostly so far.
Mhm.
They're building up to him.
Just like they
This
did in
modern,
Jaws.
yeah, just like the modern going audience would not fly now.
Yeah.
They need more by now.
Yeah, and we're also only seeing small parts of him at a time. We're not seeing the
Yep.
full scale.
Not
Exactly.
yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, exactly. Building up to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that in I think it's Pflugerville or near. Oh, if you listen to the music, you could hear bits of the dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun. Dun. You could hear that.
Yeah.
We should do a cartoon week, an 80s cartoon week.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I was about to say where it was though. I think it was like Round Rock or somewhere near Austin. There's this Godzilla themed Japanese restaurant Caleb went to. I would like to go there one day.
Yeah.
Oh, here he
Here he
comes.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gojira is attacking the power plant. Gojira is attacking the power plant.
Now, how fun would it have been the actor in there? Just smashing the shit out of everything. Wouldn't
Well,
that
I'll
have been
tell you
fun?
this. I'll tell you this. The actor, it was miserable in the suit. Like he passed out
Oh,
several times.
yeah, well,
The-
I'm sure that did happen. I'm sure.
And
He said
I'm
that.
pretty sure he sweated buckets.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Apparently there were like gallons of sweat in the suit by the time he was finished. Different takes.
He was practically swimming in that shit.
But see,
But-
I love the angled shots where you're seeing him from a distance, like at a ground level view. You see that? Getting that sense of scale, you know?
Yeah.
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 Which they
Along-
incorporated really well in -1 as well.
This is
Yeah.
all model work though. This is models.
Mhm.
Something
Yeah.
George Lucas would adopt it for Star Wars, right?
Yeah,
Right.
along with using fireworks for minor explosions.
He's got the thing as
Seeing where they got some of the scenes from -1 there, Danner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my point, is the whole fucking train thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
when you were talking about like the scope and scale of how Godzilla is shot, because I was also going to add, even I think the 2014 movie did that well as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like particularly like at the airport where we see him for the first time, because
Yeah.
one detail I've always liked in that scene is like how everyone is still screaming and shit, but then when he steps into frame, everyone just kind of goes
Yeah.
like,
Well,
they're silent.
The critique about that movie, about not seeing him enough, I liked when he was just swimming and you just saw his back coming up
Yeah.
in the
Oh, you
water.
mean
I
the
thought that was
spikes?
I thought that was really atmospheric and like, oh shit, he's coming. He's coming.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was a build up, but that's not the audience now. They're
But we also had pretty lackluster characters as well. And the only interesting one we had got killed before he even showed up.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Oh look,
Hey,
I always loved Dr. Sarazawa in that movie. Ken Watanabe is a fantastic actor. I just think that they didn't give him enough to do.
Let them fight. That's the most you're going to remember him from in that movie.
Yeah.
We need a plan. We need a fucking plan. This shit's getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, what they're doing is they're establishing how the military is. Well, they're not capable of handling Godzilla, and that's why in later sequels you would get more versus movies because I mean, for one thing, you don't want to keep rehashing the same Godzilla invades, military tries to defeat him, but they can't. They want to add more spice and flavor to it. That's why you got more versus movies because at the end of the day, you had two options of standing a chance against Godzilla: some very bizarre scientific method or another giant monster.
No.
There it is.
I love this song, man. Let me tell you this. People, when I was in school, like I'm talking like junior high,
Oh shit.
people would get so irritated with me talking about Godzilla because I would not shut up. I said, "Oh my god, Godzilla's so cool. The music is awesome. I love it." People would just get annoyed, like, "Shut the up."
It was like me with Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. Hey, I think those are Sherman tanks.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense though. I think that they were given to leftover from World War II, just donated to them.
Maybe.
You know, every time I see these power lines, all I can think about is the fucking Texas coast.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of you guys living in Texas, man.
Well, let me tell you
Why is
something.
that?
Texas, what's
Well,
up?
I'm a big blues fan.
Hmm.
All the great bluesmen were all from Texas. A lot of them, like Johnny Winter and
Yeah.
Johnny Winter was from Beaumont, Texas, I think.
Yeah, that's in
Um,
between Louisiana and Texas. That's a
Oh.
that's a
Um,
border town.
I'm so fascinated by the blues and the old juke joints of Mississippi and how the music was created, like how it came to be. It's like I mean, Rocky and movies are my one love. Blues is my second. Um, I just don't do it on my channel because it's a movie channel.
Right.
But I will say, by this summer, there may be a second channel being created, or maybe music, because I'm a huge blues fan. So when I
Well,
hear people are from Texas and Mississippi, I'm like, oh, dude, I would love to go down there. And
Dude, okay.
if
sorry.
you're gonna do something like that, we're gonna talk about blues music. You got to have that clip from
Crossroads.
Adventure Baby singing the blues.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
my favorite part in that movie.
Like
Yeah.
I know a few, and if you ever decide to come down to Texas, you know, to see some sites, I would recommend a few good sites. The USS Lexington, Galveston, if you ever want to go to the coast.
Avoid Austin at all costs because
Yeah,
it's a
avoid Austin
shithole.
because it's basically mini New California.
Did any of you ever?
Yeah.
Did any of you find it really strange in the Friday the 13th remake that you could
Yeah,
tell it was
exactly.
Texas? You could tell it was like a swampy kind of
Yeah,
area, like
Yeah.
rather
you know,
than
weird.
like
I
the
actually looked up the
Midwest. Like,
Yeah.
Totally.
yeah, and the funny thing is, I actually looked up that house where because I was looking up filming locations and shit, and I looked it up on Google Maps, and it was in Texas. It's like, oh, and do you know the Texas Chainsaw remake, the one with done by Michael Bay?
mhm.
Yeah, that house. That's actually like a few minutes. That's like a few minutes from here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like I forgot where it was. It's in between like Colleen and it's in that
Wait,
area
really?
over there. Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. And guess what though? My mother. No, true story. My mother, who was a teacher at the time, her her teacher friend, his relatives actually own that house, and they thought about inviting the kids over for Easter, and they were like, "Mm-mm." They do have signs that says, "Please do no trespassing. No, we're tired of hiding the bodies and stuff."
Oh, Godzilla again.
Okay, here we
There's
go.
also a little love triangle in this movie too. Like the movie has a lot of layers to it.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, you know what I just remembered? So you know that little bird cage with the little parakeets in it? How there's two of them?
Hmm.
Do you think? No, no. I'm just probably blowing smoke out of my ass or something.
Okay.
Like, I was just thinking because you know the references of like the two fairies.
No, because Mothra didn't come until the early '60s.
Okay, I was just a thought.
Interesting thought, but I don't think they had Mothra in mind just yet.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, another film idea for projector: Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
I remember watching that as a kid.
Yeah, but don't spoil anything though, because I want Caleb's reaction.
That sounds strange. And then here we go. You get a nice good view of him again.
Yeah,
Damn good.
that's a I think that's either a Maxim or M1917 water cooled machine gun. Yeah, that's a water cooled machine gun.
I don't think I would ever want to see this colorized.
Yeah, good point, Danner. That's what I was thinking the same thing. It
Mhm.
worked. That's what makes it work, I think.
Yeah.
Well, especially how darkly lit Godzilla is too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this scene alone reminds me of the infamous picture of War of the Worlds or Battle Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the picture where the searchlights are in the air and there's like flak everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
and there's the atomic breath.
yeah. You know, Danner, you did see this scene before.
Eh,
It was in Flubber.
Fucking flubber.
I don't care. Fuck Flubber.
This is kind of like the nuclear blast in T2, eh, Caleb?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
No.
kind of the
Yeah, just
in a
waiting to
way.
see the. I'm just waiting to see the bus tumble over.
Yeah, or get blown away. Oh,
This is Mother Nature taking her revenge on man.
Yeah. He just blasted those people with his breath. You don't see that very often, by the way, in this franchise. You
No.
don't see Godzilla using his breath on people. It's always buildings, planes, and boats.
And yeah, there are people in those things, but
Right.
to make direct contact with a person.
Yeah.
No, damn.
Yeah.
I thought a grizzly bear was pissed when he comes out of his cave.
Right.
Yeah. God, that music.
Yeah, it's so good, eh?
Yeah.
oh, there's the shot.
Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
Yee. Another reason why it's good it's in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's the same
personal,
goes with all the movies you like there, Danner. The Creature from the Black Lagoon and Frankenstein.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I love me some Frankenstein, man. They were
Mhm.
considered in black and white. I think that's what makes there's a real appeal to them.
Yeah. Well, especially with like, yeah, with Godzilla. I mean,
Yeah.
as dark as he's lit in this and seeing it in color, it wouldn't have looked as intimidating. I don't think.
Yeah. I know. So, stupid question: who would win in the fight, Godzilla or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Oh, Godzilla would destroy that fucking bitch.
He'd
If you-
roast it.
If you think about how the Ghostbusters won against it, yeah. They cross the streams, causing an explosion. Godzilla does that on every night.
The wife and I watched the original Jurassic Park not that long ago. And one thing you really notice is like he hid the CGI because there was some CGI in that with the rain and the night, all the night stuff. That's what made the T-Rex look so good. But that's Spielberg we're talking about, a guy who knows how to use his brain and is inventive.
Yeah,
you know.
Yep.
Well,
Also,
there's so much attention to detail there. Like even when the T-Rex is stepping and he's stepping in the puddles, even then they had to animate the damn puddles just to get the illusion of splash.
Right.
Yeah, and you know the glass sunroof on the Jeep thing when the T-Rex smashed down on it.
It was
supposed
an
to
accident.
I thought it was supposed to break though, but they kept it in there anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen, but they kept it in there. And then they decided, okay, that's pretty good, but we're going to have to add in some new shots from different angles. Otherwise, it will be too obvious.
Yeah.
These movies don't work unless it's character first.
Yeah.
But character first.
Well, the idea is that you need to have a cast to be invested in. Because I see a lot of people, and I have seen for years, where it's like, oh, I don't care about the human characters. I just want to get to the monster action. Again, it's those people that have only watched the more cheesy Godzilla films where you didn't really care about the characters, that you did just want to see the monster fights. It's just a lot of the better Godzilla movies in this franchise have human characters that you get connected with.
I feel like I'm in a Rampage video game now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a pretty intense scene right here. Oh wait, no,
the Watchtower.
No, there's a scene with the tower coming in later, but it's pretty crazy.
So it's not this one that's just falling down,
right? Yeah, there's another one.
Oh damn!
Oh no, he decimates fucking Took.
Yeah. Oh yeah. These characters. Yeah, this is.
Oh no!
Oh. Hey, she's eating a fucking possum.
Like he's destroying things with his tail, like cutting buildings in half, and
yeah.
Didn't Scooby Doo make like a reference to it though, even though it wasn't supposed to? Even though it wasn't. I don't
know. Did it?
It was like in What's New Scooby Doo, I think.
All that I know is that in the Courage the Cowardly Dog cartoon, wait. That's fucking heavy.
Jesus.
You know, just seeing the city alone.
Shit, man, this is dark shit.
Yeah. You show this scene and its context to all the people that said Godzilla's just cheesy monster movie shit. Here you go.
Yeah.
Save the clock tower.
Yeah. Oh, come on, man. I know it's 11 o'clock.
The feeling of hopelessness there, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh,
yeah.
This scene, a reference from or that was referenced in -1.
Look at the flames everywhere, man. It's just
chaos. But I think people have become too accustomed to disaster movies where all they care about is the big cheesy stuff. And there's and it's not just monsters too. I mean, like, really, does anyone remember half the characters from Twister besides Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt and maybe Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Not really.
I remember a few of them.
Look at all the great ones. Like You get Jaws, Jurassic Park,
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla here. It's all character first. You
Yeah.
had Tremors. You
Mhm.
remember the characters. You don't remember the monster stuff was all cool, but it was Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward and Reba
Oh yeah,
McEntire
Tremors.
and yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just it, though. I mean, the disaster, all the big spectacles should be the icing on the cake, but we still need the cake,
Exactly.
the
Right.
characters, i.e. I mean, that was my problem with the Jurassic World movies. It was all icing, kind of.
Really
the first
shitty
Jurassic,
icing, if anything.
the first Jurassic World was icing, no cake, and then the rest was just a shit sundae.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the real hero in Jurassic World was fucking Jimmy Buffett saving the margaritas.
What?
Oh yeah,
I
he
don't
makes it.
remember that.
Oh, he's in there. He's the cameo. You remember when the pterodactyls are running amok?
No, I don't. Sorry.
I don't remember them running. I remember them flying.
You know what I meant, or causing a ruckus, and
The only
saw-
thing I remember in that was them swooping in, taking that fucking annoying British chick. It reminded me of that fucking scene from Family Guy. The mommy, look at that lady boy.
I love how the parents didn't even react. They just like, oh,
I
goodbye,
know.
child.
They didn't even notice.
Look at that. That's
Dude, no,
insane.
don't flash.
Yeah, this
no.
is it. What? Show.
There's like nothing left.
Great shot.
Oh yeah.
Watch.
It looks like our Doom.
Mhm.
So, you know what those reporters reminded me of? It reminded me of that.
You can
of
see
that
them falling too. You can see people falling. That is just insane.
Jeez.
Yeah, but the story about those
Now-
reporters when he's talking about his death and shit. That reminds
Take
me
the
of. It reminds me of the narration adaptation of War of the Worlds. Like when you hear that caused a big scare and everybody thought something was going on, but it turns out it was just a adaptation or a play.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was pointing out Sarazawa because
Yeah.
his character is very important to this story. I'm just letting you know. Kind of like a no duh, but
Get this shit out of my way. I want to go back in the water.
Get this. What the fuck is this doing here? Look,
That, no, it'd be really stupid though.
It's
if he
like a
got
parent
stuck
when-
in the bridge.
oh,
hmm.
dude, it's just like a. It's like
Well,
a.
you
It's
know,
like
it'll be
a.
even worse because watch this. Think about this. Watch. Okay. He not only does he not get stuck in the bridge, but if you remember in that movie, the fighters came in, right? And took him out in 98. Well, watch this shit.
Oh dear.
Rockets away.
There you go. Yeah, missiles. Missiles? What? What?
These
Missiles
fuckers
can't
aim
do
like.
shit to Godzilla, you bastards.
No, they can't fucking aim for shit. They shoot like stormtroopers.
Those things would bounce right off him. Look at the size of them. Those
Right.
missiles are like this.
But I mean, and yeah, in the '98 movie, they just destroyed most of the city than Zilla did.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, it just occurred to me another movie that I think would not work if it was colorized. Doctor Strangelove, and that's not even a big monster movie
Yeah.
like this. That's just a
Yeah.
great fucking comedy that took a satirical
My
approach to
Jedi!
the whole war.
And you know what movie would work?
My-
You know what movie would work really well in black and white?
Hmm.
Try putting a black and white filter on The Thing and watch it.
Oh,
It's actually really works. It's something to do with the cinematography of that film, the contrast
The-
of dark light. Yeah, it would really work.
The one with Kurt Russell or the thing from Another World?
But the thing
No,
from
the
Another
one
World's
with-
already in black and white, dude.
Yeah,
I thought it was
Kurt
in
Russell
color.
one.
No.
No,
From Another
no,
World
that's
is
black and white movie.
Oh, wrong one.
That movie takes a while to get going. That's one of those
Yeah.
50s movies that
I still love the final line, keep watching the skies.
Oh yeah, it's very chilling.
Hmm. They actually made a joke about it at the end of that one Simpson episode that had Mulder and Scully. Well, because the episode was introduced by Leonard Nimoy, right? But
Spock?
like he decides to just leave before it's over because he thought it was over. It's like, Mr. Nimoy, there's still 10 minutes left. Excuse
Okay.
me, I have to go to my car.
Okay, check this out.
Holy shit. That's what Hollywood should look
Hey,
like.
Caleb,
right
where's
now.
our American boy? He should be in the nurse. That's where he is right now.
Yeah, they just brought him in. Look, I'll say this. At some point, we can watch the 56 re-edit. I would almost say it's a contender for the dumpster.
Really?
Yes. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I like watching it. It's just when you compare it to this version, the original, it'll piss you off.
Mm.
That's why I say it's a contender for the dumpster.
Mm. I'll be the judge of that.
Are the dumpster ones first watches? Oh, no, I guess they can't be. They're dumpster fires, aren't they?
Well, not necessarily, because some movies were on the dumpster that I've never seen. So
That's true.
things like Hard Ticket to Hawaii was on the dumpster, and that was a first time watch, and now I'm absolutely in love with it. So much.
There have been quite a few.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if was Mac and Me, wasn't that your first time watch?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. See?
Same.
You gotta do Howard the Duck, man.
What? Mom?
Oh, look at Danner's face.
Actually, you know what? It can't be any worse than that other thing. We don't talk about it.
Oh God.
I got
Yeah.
nostalgia for Howard the Duck, but I know it's not a good movie.
Seriously,
Okay, so
Lorraine McFly
wait,
fucking a duck.
What? Shh. Sorry, excuse me. Just pay attention. This is important.
What do you think, Danner?
Interesting. Well, I knew they would have to come back to show us what happened.
Yeah.
That's the mystery.
So here we go. The Oxygen Destroyer.
Well, I hope that would never get manufactured in real life, because what about sports fishers? We're just kind of ruining it for them.
Well, this is where it gets interesting. Now, when I first watched this, Danner, because you didn't see what happened, I thought he mutated the fish somehow. Like he could do some kind of mutate to fight Godzilla. That's what I thought was going to happen.
It's a good thought.
If you look at the guy's lab, it looks like Frankenstein's lab, like some
It
of the
kind of
gizmos and
does.
stuff.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Except I still think Frankenstein's lab was a lot more exaggerated.
Yeah.
This one feels a little more grounded.
But you see, I mean, I don't have to spoon feed this to you. You're seeing it for yourself. The whole point that I made earlier was that you had two options in fighting Godzilla. One, some bizarre scientific method, or another monster.
Right.
This is what they first come up with.
Well, what's interesting about it is it becomes a morality tale on ethics.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the scientist here is saying, this can't fall into the wrong hands. So
Yeah, because it would be worse than any hydrogen bomb. And it's
Like,
true.
because you have to remember, this is in '54, and like, if the Russians or the Americans got a hold of it, the Cold War, it would be World War III all over again, or it would be World War III.
Yeah.
think about that. He could fry an enemy's water supply. Like,
Mm-hmm. This isn't really a spoiler per se, but I'll just put it out there for everyone here that they come back to this in a later sequel. So one of the things with the Godzilla franchise is that it had quite a few reboots, and these reboots always were sequels to the first film, to this film. And they come back to this later, much later. But it's worth keeping a mental note of it.
well, that's what happened to Crystal Lake. The water went bad. Have a seat.
I wasn't going to do anything. I just drove the 17 hours just to say I wasn't coming here, I swear. Ooh. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to kill you.
Shishawa! Shishawa! I like how fast they say that. Shishawa!
Mm-hmm. This is pretty intense.
Foot.
Hmm.
Up.
Looks
Oh.
like we're losing down. No.
Well, which is why it will be a one and done.
Shh.
Maybe Godzilla's hit Alberta.
Oh shit.
Let's see.
Oh,
There we
there
are.
he is.
Lagged out. But don't stop the movie on my account.
Oh no, you're good.
We've gotten this far.
See, once again, they're with all the references to the atomic bombs, coming from people who experienced its power firsthand. You can see how impactful the real world drama is to the fictional drama here.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're making good points here, man.
Yeah.
Like even if he burns his notes, though, there's a possibility he could get captured by either the CIA or the KGB.
Okay, so quick little note here. The American edit made this scene look kind of ridiculous. Like the way he just scratched his head,
Mm-hmm.
it made it look like it looked kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. When you don't have because one of the things about the movie is that it doesn't have subtitles for when they're speaking Japanese.
Mm.
So unless you speak Japanese, you don't know what the hell they're saying, and it's just
That's-
Raymond Burr narrating.
That's the edit you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is pretty ominous.
Hmm.
Sorry, the prayer.
The music's really good in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this scene alone, even if it's Godzilla, it reminds me of the horrors of the aftermath of Hiroshima and
point.
Nagasaki.
That's the point.
A lot of war movies do something like even in Braveheart, Mel Gibson, after the Scots lose that one war at Falkirk, he's going through the camera and he's showing you all the death and the people looking for their husbands and all that stuff.
Sons.
Saving Private Ryan does something like this, looking at the
Normandy.
body, So yeah, and they're in the church here. I'm assuming this is a church.
I think it's a school, or a church.
School. This is eerie music.
Yeah.
Like this thing just came and destroyed you within minutes. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good cinema, man. It's really good cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you have to be in a certain state of mind, I think, for this film, because like we were saying earlier, a lot of modern audience today probably couldn't sit through this because they'd be too bored, which is frustrating because it's like this has such a great story, so many elements of it. You have to be in the right mood for it. I mean, for me, I can hop right into it, no problem.
Yeah, well, for modern audiences, story doesn't come first.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't even follow this movie. Like, oh, what the fuck is this about?
Where's the
And there's
diversity
so
and
many.
inclusion?
There's some really good ones from the 30s and 40s that I still have to see a lot, but I was blown away when I saw the movie Freaks.
Mm-hmm.
Like that movie was just incredible characters in it. Really good movie.
Yeah.
They're classics for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But that's why we got to make some of our own.
Right.
But
100%.
but they're pretty few and far between anymore. I mean, like, I can pretty much guarantee, like, in a few decades' time, people are going to look at -1 and say, "This is a classic."
Yeah. I mean,
Hell, it doesn't even need to be that long.
well, in about 30 years, Godzilla's going to be 100 years old.
I know.
It's crazy.
Sometimes I wonder, in the last 10 years, are there any movies that you think will be considered absolute classics? Like movies that didn't necessarily make the money either. Like The Shawshank Redemption didn't make that much money, but it's considered one of the best. It's a classic now.
Mm-hmm.
I often wonder the
Yeah.
last, like, I try to think, like, what have I seen in the last 10 years that 30 years from now people will be talking about it still?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
I
I
don't know
never
if
knew
they're-
it was a Stephen King. It was a Stephen King story.
Yeah, it's a short story, so a lot of people don't. It's called Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption, or something like that.
Mhm.
Hmm. Uh. Hmm. Hmm.
It's a tough question, Daner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really process that one. Oof.
It seemed like you could pick 50 from the 80s. We're all talking about them still, but
Yeah.
even the 90s,
Mhm.
there's a lot of movies talked about, but I don't know. I don't know what I've seen even in the last 20 years. There's
Yeah.
movies I
Yeah.
really like that are modern, but I'm trying to think, are they ones that people are going to be talking about though? It's like still.
I mean, it will. There will be movies that stand out. It just needs time to simmer.
Hmm.
And some will gain an audience that,
Yeah.
like, look, the thing it bombed back in the day in 1982.
Right.
It's considered one of the best movies, like horror movies of all time now.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be the odd movie like that we've seen in the last
Mhm.
5 years or so. And people are going to go, "Have you seen this?" It's going to gain its audience over the years.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully, The Nice Guys.
That's a great movie, man. I love that one.
Yeah. Like, that's the first movie I think of where it's like, I regret not seeing that one in theaters.
Yeah, kind of went under the radar, eh?
Yeah.
There it is. The Oxygen Destroyer.
Eat it. I mean, you could probably just take all those oxygen absorber packs out of jerky packages and just toss those in the water, see what happens.
Or maybe that's what the ingredient is.
Hmm.
Or key component to the oxygen destroyer.
Perhaps.
You're funny.
I mean, The Dark Knight, I think will stand the test of time.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
a movie I
sure.
think will.
It's a good one. Yeah.
That movie's 16 years old already.
It's
Wait.
crazy.
No, wait.
Pretty.
Yeah, holy shit, it is 16. Oh my god.
Mm.
We're getting old.
Logan. I think Logan might be one of those.
Hmm.
Can be.
Could be, yeah.
Every time I see
Inception?
these,
Maybe. Certain
I
audience.
think I know a lot of people have problems with this movie, but I think it's really good. And I think it may be talked about, but I may be wrong about this one, so I'll say that right now. Is A Quiet Place may still be remembered 20 years from now and go, you remember the opening scene to that thing where that fucking thing just took that kid? Like, because that was what was impactful to me about it, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But I may be wrong about that. Well,
Two boys and their scary pops. How you doing? I don't recognize you either. We're seeing some new faces. Would you consider John Wick or Drive or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Once Upon a Time in
John
Hollywood.
Wick.
Oh,
John Wick, yeah.
for
I love
sure.
me some fucking John Wick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Once Upon a
Well-
Time and Drive, fuck yeah.
Stopping in to hit the like and love me some Godzilla. Well, I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the channel. I don't
Yeah.
know
Two
if you've been
boys
here
and
a
their scary
while or if
pops.
you're
I like that.
yeah. I don't know if you've been here a while or if you're new, but regardless, welcome. Appreciate the like.
Oh yeah.
Every time I see these old-fashioned diving suits, all I can think about are the little one or the ones you see in like fish tanks and Captain Cutler's Ghost.
Mhm.
Deep Star 6, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the one with Cuba Gooding Jr., right?
No.
Or was that a different movie? I know that he played a black Navy diver during World War II.
I thought I had it here, but I may be wrong. It's Sean Cunningham directed it. It's a low budget creature. It's like an ocean creature feature.
Oh,
Maybe.
oh,
Oh
there
yeah,
he
check
is.
this out. It's pretty ominous.
Whoa.
Listen to
Deep
the
under-
music, man. Listen to this music.
Yeah.
It's telling the story, man. Because you're invested in what Shirzawa?
Dr. Sarazawa.
That's it. We're watching Lethal Weapon soon, man.
Ah.
Had to come up.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
I am literally.
Well, I mean, on that note, I know exactly what would be perfect for the dumpster.
Oh.
Samurai Cop.
What?
Yeah, Samurai Cop.
We're talking about cop movies mixed with something else. How about Wolf Cop?
No.
No?
I mean, maybe, but nah. Samurai Cop.
Sounds bizarre.
You have no idea.
Godzilla -1. I wish they could do that type of story with Godzilla today.
Well, they kind of did.
Yeah. Godzilla -1.
But that was a given. We were thinking it, but it was just too obvious, all things considered. We're
Yeah.
watching Godzilla right now.
It's actually pretty crazy to watch this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sarazawa, he's wanting to watch his creation destroy. So there's a thing. I'm not going to spoil it because we'll eventually get to the movie. But this is a movie I don't think any of you guys have seen in the Godzilla franchise yet. But well, we'll talk about it after we see this happen. Samurai Cop versus RoboCop.
Yeah, right.
I mean, on that budget, they did such an awesome job. Yeah, that's a very big. Oh, hold on. So Sarazawa here he's sacrificing himself. He's gonna die with Godzilla and his creation.
Wow. What a way to go out.
Yeah, well, it's that layered storytelling. It's ethical
Hmm.
because if his experiment ever gets out, more people could die and all this kind of stuff and wars and all that. So
Right.
I like that he sacrificed himself here.
Just watch what the characters say here because it's all very important. Like it just. Hold on. Oh, shut up.
Okay.
feel bad for Godzilla
That's one of the things that comes up.
because he's not really the enemy. He's the
He's a victim.
yeah, but also natural consequences to your actions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like layered storytelling. I don't know how else to say it. Like
It's
so many
very
layers to this thing.
complex. Like you wouldn't expect it from a giant monster movie.
No, that's
The type
what
of-
shocked me about this.
So there's a skeleton, and you know that the
That's a cool shot. Like
Oh,
and then liquefies the skeleton too. No remains, no evidence, just wiped off the face of the earth. What is the term? Like a periodic victory? Like we got a victory, but at what cost?
Mm-hmm.
But watch what Dr. Yamane says right here. See, they won, but it's still sad, you know.
there you go. There it is, man.
Yep.
Consequences. We keep going the way we're gonna go with war and shit like that. There's more Godzillas will come.
That's chilling.
yeah.
If you could own a life-size replica of any Godzilla from any movie of his, what would you pick? So I'll just say this: everyone here, for the most part, has not seen but one, maybe two Godzilla movies. I am the only one that has watched every single one. So for me, I would want to say Godzilla from Godzilla versus Destroyer. That'll be one of my first picks. Okay,
That was a good movie, man.
there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, Danner, first impressions.
Damn good. And yes, to the viewers who just tuned in, this was my first time watch of the original Godzilla. But yeah, damn good. I mean, like you were saying earlier, I mean, putting the characters first and the spectacle second. I mean, even for something like this,
Indeed,
it worked
indeed.
so goddamn well. I mean, obviously, I may have to watch this one another time yet again, but I gotta get a physical copy because I was just renting this on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Caleb sent me a link.
Black and
Caleb
white.
sent me
It needs to be black and
he
white.
sent me a free link because you can watch it off Tubi. Actually, Daner, they have all the Godzilla movies, the early ones on Tubi. You can watch. It's with ads, but you can watch them on your own time. I mean, so
Yeah. No, but
you have any idea how much I hate ads?
I don't.
I don't want what you're
I-
selling.
I grew up with commercials, so that's fine.
Fuck yeah.
probably go with
Yeah,
the
but-
good ones.
Yeah, I did grow up with good ones. That's why I'll watch some of the old ones. But the ones we get now, it's just more propaganda.
Right. But yeah, so Godzilla. This movie, I almost want to say it doesn't get talked about enough in certain circles. Again, referencing like to anybody out there who was just like me, where we love Godzilla and we told people how much we love Godzilla, and we were laughed right out of the room. I was right there with you. And I promise you, I bet you, and you probably could agree, that the people that always made fun of us, they never watched the original. They only heard about the cheesier movies, or they may have watched one or two of them. Or hell, they probably just watched the 98 film and assumed, that's Godzilla. That's it. There ain't nothing else to the franchise, so I don't need to watch anymore. It all sucks. No. No. No, this movie is not treated as a cheesy monster film. This is treated as a real life type disaster. It has compelling characters, layered story with the love triangle and the ethics and morality of using devastating weapons. There's so much to this movie that a lot of people probably don't even know about, and it's crazy, but it's good because Godzilla minus one is so good that even the casual fans are like, wow, this is actually pretty good. It gets people's appetites going, where it's like, okay, let's start diving into the older films and see where they were and where we are now. So it works. Like when you talk to most Godzilla fans that have been, veterans of this franchise, most of us would say you start with this film. You start with the 54 film and then work your way up. With that said, I think that it wouldn't hurt to start with minus one. Obviously, if I were to recommend a list, at least for the first two, you can either watch minus one first and then go to this film, or start with this film, then go to minus one. You can go either way. Either way, it's a good victory. If you wanted to get someone into the franchise, start with one of these two films and then work your way through. Because this is where you have some very serious and grounded storytelling. It's something that our friend here is saying, a very grounded film, absolutely. Godzilla brought us a slew of giant monster movies after that. Yeah, after Godzilla, well, here's a fun fact for you. They immediately made another Godzilla movie in 1955 called Godzilla Raids Again. Now, that one, very different from this one, in the sense that the ominous tone that this film had, it's not there in 1955. With that said, it's still entertaining enough, but it gives us our first versus movie for the Godzilla franchise in 55.
He's asked a question, a couple up there, two boys and their scary pops.
Okay, if you could own any three items / props from any films, what would you pick? For example, Darth Vader's lightsaber, etc. Ooh.
Oh.
Well, if I'll stay in line with some Godzilla stuff. Three props. Okay. One of the Godzilla suits. I'd love to own one of the Godzilla suits. I would like the T-800 puppet used from the first Terminator. And then the helmet, the Darth Vader helmet from A New Hope. The one that they used. Just off the top of my head.
I would want the belt from Rocky 2 that Rocky raises. Replica belt. The tombstone from Jason Lives. His tombstone.
Yeah.
I gotta go. Yeah, either a life-size T-800, like the whole dude.
Yeah.
Like in the background.
Mhm.
Another one. I love Ripley's jacket in Aliens. That brown jacket she's wearing. Through the middle of it.
Yeah.
She's wearing that brown bomber kind of jacket. I really like that jacket.
Yeah.
Does Michael Keaton's Batmobile count?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, okay. How about this? Michael Keaton's Batmobile, Freddy's glove, and the One Ring.
Ooh,
those are some good ones. On my end, I would like to have the Pussy Wagon from the Kill Bill series.
Furry wagon.
Fuck off. The second one I would like to have is the Remington 870 Wingmaster police shotgun, the one Linda Hamilton used in Terminator 2. And third one, oh Jesus, this is a fucking tough one. Oh Christ.
Chuck Norris's chest hair.
No.
They say Chuck Norris is so tough that he doesn't have a chin underneath his beard. there is only another fist.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Chuck
Oh.
Norris is so tough that if he came in contact with the Thing, he would assimilate the Thing.
Oh, and my third and final prop I would like to have is the I would like to have the hoverboard from Back to the Future Part 2, Marty's hoverboard.
Fully functioning?
Fully functional.
Well, that's what I thought.
Damn straight.
But yeah, Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Godzilla Raids Again. Yep, that came out right after this one, 1955. And then before the 1956 re-edit, which, oh man. Look, that will have to be something to watch. Like, I'm serious. Like, something on the dumpster, I think that it could be a good contender because you think about how good this film is. I mean, shit, J-Man, just tell us, because you watched it too, didn't you? You watched the 56 one, right?
Mhm.
Give your thoughts.
The American version?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it sucks, man. It takes all the ominous, the dark brooding stuff, and just passes by it like it's you don't get the bathe and soak in it. It's like a documentary told through this character that is shoehorned in, this American character, and it's like how no offense to Americans, but they're spoon fed and treated like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Like, because what? You can't read a subtitle. You need it narrated for you. It's like you're going, oh, here's the language. Here's the English. Come on, man. Like,
I mean,
it was so bad. Like,
if you think about all the dialogue you're reading, right? Especially at the end when Dr. Yamani's talking about, if we continue with all this testing, there could be another Godzilla that could appear. You don't get that dialogue in the edit. Oh yeah. They fucking. I can't remember what they put in there, but it was either a dub where the character was saying something else entirely, or it's just not there. Where the Raymond Burr's character is just narrating through the fucking thing. I'm like,
but everything's lost in translation. Like, it's
yes, yeah, it's
Oh, fuck.
it's terrible. It's like a documentary on the movie. That's what it feels like, and it's supposed to just be a re-edit. So I thought the movie was gonna play out the same. There's some added scenes, but they actually shoehorned an American character in there who apparently was there through the whole thing, like a journalist, and they're just fucking stupid. Like,
greetings, exalted ones. Welcome to the dumpster where we pick up the garbage so you don't have to. Tonight's garbage is this fucking movie, Godzilla King of the Monsters, 1956. I'm sorry, I had to. Forced, absolutely, but thinking about it more and more, because it's been a while since I've seen the 56 one, but I'm remembering scenes, and I'm just like, I remember they cut so much dialogue. They cut out so much. It's just, what were they thinking?
What?
It's like think of a foreign movie you really like. You know what I mean? Where you had to use subtitles and them Americanize it in some way. It would just be butchered.
Yeah. I told my two boys when we went to see Godzilla -1, it had subtitles, and that would be cool to follow along. They both love the movie. That's good. I'm glad.
Oh, yeah.
Godzilla -1 has a fantastic benefit of having a great story to tell with a very terrifying interpretation of the Godzilla character. Look, there's a lot of great movies in this franchise. Like, I have gushed about this film, and I've gushed about -1. There are other movies in this franchise that are as good as this film. It's just you have to work your way through some of the cheesier aspects to get to those messages. That's why in this watch long series we're going to touch on some of those. I was going to go through. I wanted to, because I'm trying to think about some of the movies to get to for this watch along series to build up to the new Godzilla film coming out at the end of this month. but I really do want to stick to some of the more classic ones because we can watch the MonsterVerse films at other times if we want to. I really want to dedicate this watch along series to some of those classics because before we get into one of my favorite eras, which would be the Millennium series, I want to get into some of the Showa era ones, which span from 54, this one, to 75. And then the Heisei era, which is from 84 to 95. We're going to touch on some of these because
Yeah, and you know what? I may even get you on for Peter Jackson's King Kong if we have time.
Yeah.
Even if we did it like just maybe in April, I don't know. We'll see. Because that's a long one. But yeah, and we're gonna be doing we'll be doing a live show on my channel next week. I forget what we're talking about. I think we're talking Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the list.
Yeah, you have to, because I still got to watch the Godzilla one you told me about.
Yeah, GMK. That's
that's
one
it.
of the
That's it.
That's one of the good ones. That's one of the ones that I would compare its story to this film as far as its importance. It's a good one. It's actually, like, if you talk to a lot of Godzilla fans, they'll point out GMK. It's one of those films in the franchise that they'll pick out. But if we didn't get those movies, we don't get Godzilla -1 today or the MonsterVerse. Yeah, for sure. I still love rewatching Destroy All Monsters because it taps into my love for Godzilla.
I do have to get going though, Caleb. But you said you had some Terminator thoughts or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, really quick. So, if you guys have followed the channel or if you're new, I have a review series called The Critique of Terminator Dark Fate, where I'm going through the entire movie, breaking things down, and expressing my sheer displeasure for its existence. The last time that I've only had 2 parts so far. The last time we had part 2 on was April of last year, so it's coming up in almost a year since I've touched the series. But some good news: I have dusted off the script for part 3. I finished typing it up, and this weekend I will start recording on it. So just expect a critique of Terminator Dark Fate Part 3 to come to a YouTube channel very soon, very close, very soon.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Let's see. Clicked on Backtrack Cinema link, but not working. Damn, really?
Hold on, Caleb. I'll put it in there.
Please do. I'll have to update the description afterwards.
See if that works.
Okay.
Should show up soon. Unless I'm lagging badly. I don't know.
But yeah, that's what we have coming up. Well, as far as videos are concerned, that's in the pipe works. But we will be continuing with March of the Monsters with J-Man. Next week, we will be doing the next review, which will be a live stream. And then also next week will be episode 2 of March of the Monsters. We haven't fully decided yet on what's coming up next. I have a few different titles in the works. But these will be double features to sort of condense on time, because there's a lot of Godzilla movies I want to show off, especially for Danner, because it'll be first-time watches. And it's going to be first-time watches for J-Man as well. But I want to get in as much Godzilla as we can this month, because it is March of the Monsters. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure that you subscribe to Backtrack Cinema, because J-Man makes amazing movie reviews, live streams. He does a lot of good stuff over there. Been a great friend of the channel. We work so well together. I'm so thankful that we're all here and we're collabing. It's awesome. A special thank you to everyone that's coming to the chat. We've had some new faces, 2 boys and their scary pops. We appreciate you for hanging out, stopping by, subscribing. Calder Prime, Peter, Filthy Dan, you guys are all awesome. Also, a special shout out to our Patreon supporters, and names will be in the end credits. Thank you to J-Man for joining us tonight. It was great having you on the channel once again. And with that all being said, thank you all for watching, listening, and supporting. And as always, fellow investigators, remember that the entertainment is out there.
I'm Special Agent Spooky Clutter.
I'm Special Agent Carter Sauce.
Special Agent Dr. Richtofen.
And until next time, fellow investigators, remember.
The entertainment
is out there.